Hi everyone. So it's been a while since we have been doing these sessions. You have been completing modules after modules. But what's the point? The whole point of all of this is that eventually you speak confidently and your everyday conversation and communication improves. So today we are going to learn some practical applications of whatever we have done so far. I have segregated conversations into four categories: shopping, dining out, office conversations, travel, and direction. Most of the time, these are the scenarios where you will be required to speak confidently and effectively. Let's put into use whatever you have learned so far. In the screen in front of you, you can see that I have listed out certain key phrases that you can use when you're shopping, or you're traveling, or you're dining out, or when you're at office. We all love to shop and we do shop a lot. So, phrases related to shopping are important and you should be knowing how and when to use them. Moving on from what is the price of this to where is the trial room, we can use other phrases like, can I try this on? Or if you want to ask for a discount, is there a discount on it? Or if you want to know if there's a different size, you can always say, do you have this in different size? And remember, when you do not want to buy anything and you're just looking around, say that. I'm just looking around. Thank you. If somebody comes to assist you. Next is travel. Travel, imagine you are in a new place and you have no idea where to. So these phrases will definitely come handy. So if you're asking for direction, where is XYZ? You can say, how do I get to XYZ? Can you tell me the way to XYZ? Is there a bus stop or a railway station nearby? Imagine if somebody asks you the same question, you can say, go straight, go left, if possible, give a landmark. Something is behind something else, something is next to something else, something comes before something else, to give more clarity to the person asking the question. Finally, special situations which you might encounter if you're traveling to a place for the first time, you can ask questions like, is this a safe area to walk in? Which means, is this a safe area where I can walk and I do not have to take a transport? Or you can ask for other traveling tips like, which bus or which bus number takes me to dash? You can also ask for places to explore by asking this question. Says you can just politely ask, could you please suggest me a few places which I could visit? Or you can also say, I'm new to this place. Could you please suggest me a few places which I could visit? I'm sure we all love to eat out, but when it comes to ordering in English, I have seen some sort of an inhibition. Most of the time, the lack of confidence. It's not that we do not know what to order. Yes, we do, but it's how to order and what exactly to say so as to seem confident. So here are a few phrases which you can use when you're ordering. Could I see the menu, please? And if you want to order something, you could say, I will have the dash, or you could also say, I will have a portion of dash. And if you are absolutely confused, you do not know what to do, you can simply ask the server, what do you recommend? And if you're someone like me who does not like spicy food, you could say, is this dish spicy? Or could you please make it non spicy? Or you can also say, can I get this without XYZ? After you have placed your order, always be grateful and say thank you. That's for now. Now imagine if you really like something and you would want to order another portion of it, you could simply say, could you repeat this for me? Or you can say, may I have another portion for this? Finally comes the time for the bill. Make sure you do not whistle at the server or call them names like boss, hello, over here, things like that. Try to make eye contact with them, and the moment they look at you, all you can do is wave at them slightly. And once they come to you, you can say, could I have the bill, please? Once you get the bill, you can easily ask if the tip is included. Is the tip included? If they say yes, well and good. And if they say no, you should tip them because it's a polite gesture. Finally, once you have paid, most of the time these days we pay by card, but for any reason, if you're paying by cash and they hand you back the change, you can be polite and say, keep the change. Next is office. Office is a place where there is room for both personal and professional communication. So when it comes to personal communication, Most of the time, it will be with your colleagues or with your friends or your peers, your teammates. You can be slightly informal and casual with them. However, make sure that you do not cross the line. Make sure your jokes are absolutely place appropriate, because at the end of the day, it's still office conversation. So you can start with something like, good morning, hey, how's it going? Now remember, good morning is something which works well for both your casual communication with your colleagues or your formal ones with your senior. Hey, how's it going? Is something you would generally use with a junior or with a colleague, but definitely not with someone who is senior to you. When you are new and you join work, you should be introducing yourself by saying, hi, I am Dash, and I have just joined whichever team you have joined. Even if you are with your colleagues at work, nothing is truly casual or informal in an official setting. The conversation should be polite and should be absolutely appropriate to the place. But what about those times when you actually want to have a conversation, but for some reason you do not know what to talk about? Most of the time, this is where people make the slip. They start talking about their personal issues or private matters. That's a strict no no when it comes to work. If you want a little break and you want to recharge and you have a colleague that you would want to talk to, talk about things like the weather or talk about your weekend plans, your hobbies, work projects which are coming up, if you have any innovative ideas related to it. And if everything else fails, you can always talk about your favorite music over a cup of coffee. Now, moving forward, things will be absolutely different when you are at a meeting and you have to give your opinions, you have to agree, you have to disagree. Again, this is also a place where most of the time people slip. Rather than giving out sentences like this should happen, that should happen, if it's your opinion, you should always introduce it by I think that, or in my opinion, or in my perspective, and then you introduce the idea. Next would be to disagree with someone. Most of the time, people say, no, I don't think so, or no, it's not correct. No, I don't want to do that. That is not the politest way to talk about these things. Whenever somebody puts forth a certain opinion that you do not agree with, that is, you disagree with, try not to bring them down. Try not to make them feel that their ideas do not make sense. So, the first step would be to make them comfortable, to make them feel safe and not feel attacked by introducing this phrase or this statement, which is, that's a great point, but, or you could also say, that's a great point, however, and then you can put your opinions forward. Say you should always seek for help when you think you need help. Same thing applies to your office situations as well. Ask questions like, could you please help me with this? Could you please provide me a little more clarity on that? Can you please explain this to me? Even if there is slightest of doubts, feel free to reach out and ask for clarification. A polite request will take you a long way both in your private and professional settings. So whenever making a polite request, you could use sentences like, could you send me that file, please? May I have this? May I have that? Whatever you want to say. Not only asking for help is important, but also offering help is equally important when you are in a social setup, that too at a workplace, and you all are growing together. So try to offer help with sentences like, let me know if I can help with that. Let me know if you want me to take care of this. Let me know if I can be of any help. Now imagine after all of this, when it's finally time to wrap up a conversation, again, most of the time people leave the conversation in a very abrupt manner, where most of the time you end up saying, see you, I'll catch you later, bye. There's nothing wrong in it. But the whole point is that we are trying to learn how to elevate our communication. So when you elevate your communication, your basic regular sentence, so rather than saying see you later, bye in an official setup, you could say, thanks for your time, I will take your leave now. And now, if you're someone who has come for a quick chat with a colleague and you are done and you're finally going back, you can say, I will let you get back at it, which means I'll let you get back at work. And you can seal it with a bye and a smile.